Hello, everyone, and welcome to the eighth installment of the Some Answer Questions series. Today's answer question is about the Bab. He was a forerunner for Baha'u'llah, the Bab. As for the Bab, may my soul be his sacrifice. It was at a young age, that is, in the 25th year of his blessed life, that he arose to proclaim his cause. Among the Shias, it is universally acknowledged that he never studied in any school, nor acquired learning from any teacher. To this, the people of Shiraz, each and all, bear witness. Nevertheless, he suddenly appeared before the people, endowed with consummate knowledge, and though but a merchant, confounded all the divines of Persia. Alone, he undertook a task that can scarcely be conceived, for the Persians are known throughout the world for their religious fanaticism. This illustrious being arose with such power as to shake the foundations of the religious laws, customs, manners, morals, and habits of Persia, and instituted a new law, faith, and religion. Though the eminent men of the state, the majority of the people, and the leaders of religion arose one and all to destroy and annihilate him, he single-handedly withstood them and set all of Persia in motion. How numerous the divines, the leaders, and the inhabitants of that land, who with perfect joy and gladness offered up their lives in his path and hastened to the field of martyrdom. As it's stated here, the Bab was a young merchant in the city of Shiraz and was well known throughout the community as being a just and fair merchant. People could always count on him to provide fair deals. He wouldn't try to deceive them, and so his business naturally flourished. I think it is I'm not sure if it's a custom to this day or if it was specifically a custom back in the mid 19th century, but I think it was kind of like a custom to try to not even necessarily haggle, but to try to deceive a customer, kind of like buyer beware, if you will. And he wasn't doing this. And so that was kind of like a stark contrast to the other merchants of his time. And when the Bab appeared in Persia in the 19th century, it was a state of absolute fanaticism and spiritual depravity. There were quite a few European historians and I guess diplomats in the region, and it is well documented the state of affairs of Persia, as well as third-party individuals documenting the occurrences of the Bab and his followers and what happened. The book, The Dawnbreakers, provides an excellent analysis of those events. It's historically accurate, well researched, well documented, has an amazing translation, and to be fair, it can be a little difficult in understanding uh, some of the names of the region if you're a Westerner. But it's a really good book with a lot of insight about what life was like at this point in time. The government, the nation, the clergy, and prominent leaders sought to extinguish his light, but to no avail. At last his moon rose, his stars shone forth, his foundation was secured, and his horizon was flooded with light. He trained a large multitude through divine education and exerted a marvelous influence upon the thoughts, customs, morals, and manners of the Persians. He proclaimed the glad tidings of the manifestation of the Son of Baha to all his followers and readied them for faith and certitude. The manifestation of such marvelous signs and mighty undertakings, the influence exerted upon the thoughts and minds of the people, the laying of the foundations of progress, and the establishment of the prerequisites of success and prosperity by a young merchant constitute the greatest proof that he was a universal educator, a fact that no fair-minded person would ever hesitate to acknowledge. And this is oftentimes like the case with God and his messengers. The Buddha was a man of wealth, I believe, and he renounced a lot of his wealth and lived amongst the poor and traveled the countryside, I think. Baha'u'llah did something similar. He was the manifestation that came after the Bab, and he was known as the father of the poor for his generosity to the poor and for his just overall kindness. Like Christ, I think the Bab, yeah, he was basically executed in his early 30s. I think Christ was 33 when he died, and I believe the Bab was 31. And when I'm saying the Bab, it's not like the B-O-B, Bob. Bab means gate in Arabic, so it means like the gate. And in terms of the gate, that's kind of like the entryway before the next manifestation. So it was his duty to proclaim the next manifestation was coming and for individuals to get ready. And like previous times in in the past with other manifestations, the clergy and a lot of the people of that point in time rejected the Bab because he didn't fulfill the prophecies literally. It's kind of like how the Jews said that Christ didn't fulfill their prophecies, and still to this day do not accept Christ because they believe that Christ did not fulfill their prophecies literally. And in many respects, Christ did fulfill some prophecies literally, but most of those prophecies were symbolic in nature and not meant to be taken literally. Um, Trying to see if there's anything else in here specifically I wanted to highlight. I think that's good for this particular segment of the text there. Um, yeah, so that's it for this entry regarding the Bob. Feel free to continue checking in. I'm probably not going to do the one on Baha'u'llah for a little bit because, as you can see here, it's rather long, and I would want to make sure that I have like a full. I might do that one in parts. I might segment that down. That's going to be a really long video. Anyway, thanks for checking me out, and until next time.